While I was in the hospital, things were kind of let go a little bit. These weren't really watered very often, although now I spilled water earlier when I was watering and it's got too much water in there. But somehow 4 of the red cabbage managed to survive. 1 of the green cabbage back here managed to survive. And I think I've got 6 broccoli that are trying to still make a go of it here. Now there's a lot of algae built up on top of the Rockwool from just being damp all the time and being under UV lights. Or, well, I use aquarium lights for seed starting indoors. They work just fine in 4-foot fixtures. I've got them on a timer so they come on in the morning and shut off at night. And then when I can, I also put things like the leeks, onions, and carrots, and these which should have been put in the ground probably a few weeks ago, really. But the leeks and the onions I'm going to try to get in the ground either today or tomorrow. And right now I'm just working on trying to get this stuff taken care of, so I need to start some pepper seeds and start some other stuff. So I've already got the red cabbages broken apart. I'm going to move them over to a smaller little tray, reusing a egg carton there. But get the 1 green cabbage, put it on that end. And then these 6 I haven't broken apart yet. But if you haven't used Rockwool before, it works really good. There shouldn't be any water in the bottom of this, not that much anyway. Generally when I start seeds, I pour enough water over soak the Rockwool, pull it out, put it in a tray, and put just enough water over it that there's a little showing in the bottom of the tray. Not like this. I'm talking, just a light film, and then water it. I generally water it every day just until I've got that light film back. I water through the Rockwool so it'll soak up what it can hold, and then once it stops holding and water starts coming through, I stop. So, but just to show you how easy it is, I've got these 6 here. All you gotta do is kind of bend and then pull. And I've been told you can just kind of straight pull them apart, but I think it breaks easier if you bend it first. And then you've got the cubes. So I was just wanted to get this on film in case anybody hadn't ever tried the Rockwool cubes before. They're not terribly expensive. It just depends on how much you're getting out of your system as to whether you'd want to use them. And generally, I mean, you can see the roots, let's see, how far down the roots are hanging below this. So they do get some good roots going for you. And it is pretty easy to get your seeds started. Now, not everything I put in there started properly, but I think that was partly my fault. I had the heat setting wrong on the thermostat for the heating pad I had under it because I was trying to warm it up so my peppers would come up, which they did, but unfortunately they didn't last through the drought of my 8 days in the hospital. So they obviously weren't getting watered properly. I had some banana peppers and some cubanelles started, of course, for planting in different areas. The banana peppers I was going to put in aquaponics, and the cubanelles I was going to plant out front. But you normally wouldn't have all this algae because they wouldn't really spend that much time under the lights. I started these onions in these trays, and obviously not all the seeds came up because you can see the big bare area right here. And there's the rest of these leeks are all nice, doing well. Somehow a carrot got over here and got started. He's going to have to be moved as well. He's actually pretty tall. He's way up here. I'd say he's at least 10 inches tall there. Then I've got green onions here. And again, you can see a big bare spot in there where there's nothing, and then everything all kind of clumped. Same thing with the red onions. And the rest of the white onions I had, I put the rest of the seeds I had from last year, just to see how well they'd come up. They came up great, and they're doing great in these little containers. These containers just aren't deep enough, nor do they have enough nutrient. Can I keep enough nutrient in there for the amount of plants that are in there? They're just too densely packed together, especially like with these carrots. A tremendous amount of the seeds came up, and they're really crowded in there. I meant to get these in the ground as soon as they were just a couple inches tall and showing the little fronds on the end of the stalks like that one is. It just didn't happen between my back and then the lovely hospital stay with pancreatitis. If anybody out there has ever had pancreatitis, I'm sorry. I feel your pain. If you haven't had it, I hope you never have to experience it. And I'll just leave it at that. It was not an enjoyable week. 6 days of not being allowed to take anything by mouth, a day of nothing but clear liquids, a day of soft food, and then being allowed to come home while I was still a little bit nauseous and having trouble holding food down. So it just, it wasn't a fun experience. I wouldn't wish it on anybody. I don't care how much I disliked or hated or whatever. I would not wish it on anybody. But anyway, that's the onions, leeks, or green onions, leeks, red onions, white onions. Now just the seed starting mix I used on these is obviously got a lot more nutrients than the soil outside. Because I've got onions out there that are only about 6 inches tall, and as you can see, most of these are up around a foot tall. Of course, those out there haven't been getting watered the best in the world. See the rutabaga next to the bucket? It's got a fist-sized root on it now. The other ones are still alive. They're just not doing as well. I'm going to try to fertilize them.